Welcome back. This is part 2 of the freebie mixed media canvas. I started by die cutting 3 butterflies, 1 from chipboard and 2 from vintage paper. I used my Fanciful Flight dies from Spellbinders, but you can also use a punch or another butterfly die. It doesn't have to be exactly what I have here. Then you're going to want to ink the edges, and I used my honey and truffle mixed media inks from Colorbox. You can use any ink that you would like to color the edges, but it does give it a nice vintagey feel if it has some ink on the edges. After I inked up the butterflies, then I added the layers together using some hot glue, and I use a low temp hot glue gun because I tend to burn myself with a regular one, but it also, the glue does dry faster because it is a low temperature one, which makes it easier to get a little bit more thickness on the butterfly, in between the butterfly layers. And after I got all of the different layers adhered together, and you just want to adhere just right in the middle of the body, then I kind of wrinkled up the edges of the papers just to give that butterfly a little bit more dimension. Next, I tied my driftwood and my stick together just using some plain white string. You don't have to use driftwood and a stick. You can use a paintbrush or a pencil for the stick portion and chipboard or cardboard for the driftwood portion. It should just have that same kind of a feel to it with a long top and then that shorter portion underneath. I created a word with my vintage Dymo label machine, and again, you don't have to use a Dymo labeler. You can use stickers. You can print out a word from your computer. You can write it out. It doesn't have to be exactly the same way that I do mine. If you do use vintage Dymo labels, though, you want to make sure that you do use that low temperature hot glue gun, because any kind of heat with a regular Dymo label will make that word disappear. The texture of the letters will be there, but the whiteness disappears. I learned that the hard way by going over a project with a heat gun, and all of my words disappeared that I had put onto the Dymo labels. So it's a good point, or a good tip for you guys to have if you're going to be using Dymo labels on a regular basis. So after I did all of the embellishments, I added them to the background on the bottom right-hand corner, and I just used the glue gun for that as well. You could also use foam squares or glue dots, anything like that. Then I added a circle that I made out of twine, and it's just kind of circling around the word to just kind of highlight that I want that word to be kind of the focal point of the canvas. After I got the circle made with the twine, then I used the hot glue gun just in various parts around that circle to make sure that it would hold that shape on the canvas. I then created a hanger with that same twine, and I wanted it to peek over the top of the canvas, so I measured it out. I glued down one side, then I held up the center over the top of the canvas and measured where the other side was going to be, and then glued down that side as well. And this is the finished canvas. And here are some more close-ups, and you can see that detail in the background with the bubbled up acrylic paint. I want to thank you again for taking my entire series of classes, and if you would like to find me on the internet, these are some of the places where I am: on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, my website, and my blog. Thanks so much. Hope to see you in future classes.